Hey guys, Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist, and no, it's not clickbait. I actually think that she shouldn't be apologizing for what she honestly, apparently believes in. She said it like 4 or 5 times. We're going to be looking here in a second. It would be easy to take shots at Whoopi Goldberg, given that she stands on the opposite spectrum of those of us that believe in freedom and liberty as core values. But let's listen to what she said and then try to be objective about it, okay?
Out to the real world. We're preparing them for a world that doesn't exist outside of their own house.
Well, also, if you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race.
It is.
It's,
Well,
no, it's
Jews
about
a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's
Well,
about
but
going
it's
out.
not-
They
it's
throw
not
white
about
supremacy in there.
But these are two white groups of people.
Well, they don't have to black
but
people.
That's where she expresses herself. When she says,
white groups of people.
but it's two white groups of people. I suppose she's trying to say it's two groups of white people. Probably that's what she mean by that. And that's it, guys. I mean, she's obviously a racist person. She obviously believes that, you know, there couldn't be any difference between groups of white people. They're all white through her racist eyes. This is the definition. You know how the word racist is thrown around as, you're Hitler racist and so on and so on. People that believe, that think the way Whoopi Goldberg does, those are the real true racists by definition. The idea that a certain group of people, because of their tone of skin, is inferior to the rest. In her eyes, it's just white people being mean with one another. And that's fine. I mean, she believes this. She apologizes for something that she said 5 times. Look, in Spanish we have, in Argentina, we have this saying of no aclares que oscurece. No aclares que oscurece is don't try to clarify things, you're only making it worse. So the more she tries to clarify and express her view of this, the worse it is. So, first of all, she just sees it as white people. This is all white people. In the eyes of Whoopi Goldberg, there's no difference between a Nazi and a Jew that's being killed by said Nazi, because those are all just white. You're just labeling everyone the same way. That's how true racists think. And it's ironic that many of these, I mean, we're talking about some of the brightest minds of our generation, of course, here in the View, obviously enough. This is not a show I follow that much. I really should pay more attention to it, given the level of, the intellectual discussion going on is so bright. It's hard to follow sometimes, but, we have to try to make an effort. But, I mean, really, this is what it's sad. I mean, an old woman like Whoopi Goldberg that has lived, I mean, she's not stupid. She just truly believes these things. Now, the thing with this is that, according to her view of things, if you deny if you just claim that this is just white people being mean with one another, and you cannot grasp the idea of a Nazi and a Jew that's being exterminated not being the same thing, it's not just all white people, you're basically denying the genocide that took place. You're denying the Holocaust if you don't understand that this was a carefully executed plan. Someone planned this, someone made that happen, and that's how we ended up with the amount of loss of life that we saw in World War II. It wasn't just a coincidence. That this is, again, by definition of genocide. Genocide is a deliberate killing of people who belong to a particular racial, political, or cultural group. And Whoopi Goldberg is saying that this was not about just that. It wasn't about exterminating a race. I don't like the word race, because I think we're all human race. It's only one race, right? Now, are there cultural differences? Are there ethnic differences? Sure, skin coloration, shape, and so on. And it's true that if you look at specifically, there's certain traits. Some people, because of their ethnicity, may have more vulnerability to certain diseases, or you're capable of absorbing vitamin D in a different way because because your ancestors lived in a place that was more exposed to certain climates and certain radiation and so on and so on. All of that really is, I mean, guys, you're 40% banana according to your DNA, 95% fly, right? The DNA differences minimal. I mean, you should still be proud of who you are, whatever your ethnicity is. I mean, even your cultural background, I think it's a lot more relevant and a lot more important. Your basic core values, your beliefs, and so on. I think that defines you a lot more as a person than, a certain skin color and, certain who was your, what religion was your ancestor. I mean, and not even mention, how could you possibly know based on DNA what religious views your ancestor had? I mean, the definition, the idea of ethno-religion, okay, if you want to look at it that way, but religion, by definition, is about faith, and faith is specifically about believing things without any actual proof. So it couldn't be any less scientific than that. So trying to throw everyone in the same bag and pretending everyone because of their and you get very close to the very dark, nasty eugenics aspect of things if you really focus on such things. But that doesn't mean that some people don't truly believe that. I mean, the Nazis definitely believed that people of a certain ethnicity and religion needed to be exterminated from the face of the earth. And they made that plan happen. They executed said plan, killing millions of people. People like Whoopi Goldberg will just look at this and say, well, it was just white people being mean with one another. I guess it can be quite insulting for anyone that has this closer to heart, or maybe even had some, a family that suffered through this, and maybe still till this day is a very sore spot to have someone like Whoopi Goldberg express such a nasty view of things. But I'd rather have her say out loud what she believes in and not hide her true self. So apologize for what? For being a racist? Man, you're what you are. Try not hurt others, and don't try to impose your hate and your narrow-minded view of what a person is or not, just based on the color of their skin. Very sad, very, very sad indeed to see that, especially from the thought leaders of our generation there in the view. Guys, see you in our next video. Take care.